So I think if movies are over 2.5 hours long, we really should get a bathroom break. I mean, I'm just thinking of ways that the cinema can help make more money. Because if you're on a break, you're more likely to go up and get more food and drink, right? So you'd think that would be something they would do. Anyway, so first off, just a little nitpick I have over this movie is why President Snow's character had to keep calling Lucy Gray the whole movie. So did everybody, actually, I'm pretty sure. Like, nobody just ever said Lucy. Like, even when Snow was in the middle of the forest, her boyfriend slash would-be killer keeps calling her Lucy Gray. Like, you're in the middle of a forest. How many Lucys are there? So I think that Viola Davis and Tom Blythe definitely gave the best performances. Viola Davis was so good as the villain. She gave a really sinister performance. And Tom, I feel like he definitely gave a good performance when it came to us sympathizing to a certain extent with President Snow, because we see him starving as a child, which isn't an excuse for what he does in the future, but it gives us layers to his character and depth. But I have to admit, Peter Dinklage, as much as I like him as an actor, and I do like him as an actor, especially in Game of Thrones, that interview he gave that basically stopped Hollywood from hiring dwarves to play the dwarves in Snow White, I mean, that was a big step back for an actual oppressed minority group. And then he goes on to make a career for himself as being a dwarf. Like, why is it okay for him but not for others? Anyway, so Rachel Zelger, we've all seen the interviews, and you know what? I want to be fair to her. I don't want to just go in and trash her. I don't want my movie reviews to be a culture war. And I don't think she's a bad actress. I don't think she's amazing either. I think Jennifer Lawrence definitely gave the superior Hunger Games performance, but Rachel Zelger, I would say she was adequate. Simple as that. I did find her character to be interesting, like how she put the snake down that girl's dress. Like, she wasn't a clear-cut hero. She was someone who was trying to survive, and I found that interesting. So for those of you that have read the books, let me know how accurate this is to the book. I've never read the Hunger Games books, and I've only seen the first movie when I was a teenager, when all of these like young adult franchises were at their peak, like Twilight and Divergent. I was much more of a Divergent girl than I was a Hunger Games one. So, I don't know. There's no accounting for taste. I think both of them are probably around the same in terms of quality. I don't know. I can't really judge. I haven't seen the movies. Are the Hunger Games movies really worth it, do you think? Let me know down below and I'll give them a watch. There was too much singing. Like, obviously, yes, the title is Songbirds, so there's going to have to be singing. And I liked the Hanging Tree song and those moments, but I just feel like it would have been even more impactful if they cut it back just a little bit. Like that whole country western type song, we didn't really need that. Or, like, obviously, if it's in the book, yeah, we could have it, but we didn't need to have it for that long. I just feel like this is such a long movie, and shaving a bit of time off that singing would have really helped. And the third act, a lot of other people have said the same thing. It feels like a different movie, like this was meant to be movie 1 and movie 2, and every other young adult movie has basically broken them all up. So it's weird that they didn't do it to this, but yeah, look, I don't have a huge problem with the tonal change if they had done it well, but it felt a little bit jarring, like we needed a bit more of a segue into this, what feels like such a different setting. So, spoiler alert, him trying to kill her at the end. So, I don't really get that as someone who hasn't read the book. Was she actually trying to kill him when she put the snake down with the scarf, or was it just an accident? I don't know. Like, I'm actually curious, and I get that it's one of those, oh, it's going to be smarter to leave it open ended type endings that work sometimes. But I don't always want those endings. Sometimes I want an actual answer, and I want an answer. And it would have been so interesting to see if they had cleared up this possible miscommunication. Would President Snow have still taken the same path that he did? Because I do think that he cared for her to a degree, but I don't think, like, I never really bought the whole romance aspect, because I went into this from the start seeing who he would eventually become, and I just think they were both mutually using each other. Like, his helping her always went hand in hand with him helping himself. And she was a girl just trying to survive, obviously. So I don't ever think they were like in love, but I do think there was genuine feelings to a degree. And there's this scene where they're having this moment in a meadow, and it reminded me so much of the Star Wars prequels, where we have this guy, this blonde guy that we know is going to turn evil, and he's talking about how he believes in like order and rigid rules being enforced brutally, and you know, it's just like this little glimmer of who he's going to become. And just the same with Anakin and Padme, like, it just feels like they had a lot of inspiration from that scene possibly. Anyway, look, overall I would say that it's an okay movie. I really liked Tom Blyth's character as President Snow. I wish they had focused on him a little bit more, and like showing, is he actually putting on a show all the time when he pretends to care? Is he actually a psychopath pretending to be nice? Like, I don't think he is, because we see him crying at times. Like, I would just like to see a bit more of his character explored. But either way, I was happy with the movie. It was okay. It wasn't great. It wasn't bad. So I would give it a 7.5 out of 10. Let me know what you think down below. Please like, comment, subscribe. It really helps my channel. Thanks, guys.